Some people seem to be pretty scared on Friday, calling a possible top, valuation super stretched. But over here, we remained bullish and said yes, it was a good idea for us all who listen to put on hedges against the market and have a cash position. We were realizing some of that hedge, maintaining the cash. See what happens, let things develop. But the long-term picture still being bullish, given inflation yet to come, bond yields which are super low. If any money comes out of that, it'll certainly be coming into stocks. Improved earnings and improved margin expansion with incoming economic openings being a very, very fertile environment for stocks to just continue to do well. And we seemingly saw that today after what was a very bad week, the worst week since October before the election, coming, possibly from uncertainty in that week before the election and possibly from the GameStop hecticness. And today we saw a recovery of that. What happened last week? Why was there a sell-off? It was a little bit more than the uncertainty. So apparently it was hedge fund selling specifically. Hedge funds, individual investors do this to some extent too, often use margin. So they take a loan to buy more stocks. The loan goes against their stocks, low interest rate, all this. When there's uncertainty in the market of any kind, it makes a lot of sense to take that margin off the table so you're not doubling your losses. Now, I credit Tom Lee for this observation. Again, we do a whole lot of crediting Tom Lee on this channel. There have been several instances so far this year and in the past 2 or 3 years where we have seen a spike in this fund deleveraging. They're all relatively the same size. And they all come at times like, I don't know if you remember the 2018 beginning of the year kind of sell-off, obviously the beginning of this most recent downturn, and the other one was just last week. That was what last week's event and sell-off was, even though it wasn't a crazy sell-off. And each one of these deleveragings has been followed by a strong and continuous, essentially, bull run. And I think we are in position for another one of those, at least on nominal terms. Now, in my equation of the future, I certainly factor in inflation. And that's why I can't say necessarily that the market is going to rise in real terms. I think it will. I think that, we're going to continue to see earnings expand and all these kinds of things. But inflation is going to occur, and that's kind of like the multiple of the market price, not necessarily the earnings multiple, the multiple of the market price. And, it's possible inflation is larger than the real value increase in stocks. That is possible. Who knows? We will see what happens. But regardless, I see things continuing to rise, at least in nominal terms. And I think today, obviously, we can't say that with 100% certainty from this point, but we want to be ahead of the curve. I know it's not really necessarily ahead of the curve to say, oh, wow, huge market run continuing to come. It's been here the whole time. But I think a lot of people are saying this is a top and that, some sort of big correction is coming. Well, I feel that. I wouldn't be surprised with a 10% correction. So I think that's not any sort of novel thing that nobody is thinking about. And, because of that, because everyone's thinking that, yes, it's possible that we see a sell-off, right? Like we saw a big down day on Friday last week, technically one on Wednesday and Thursday kind of too. And the futures were down last night, but then the momentum shifted today and we see still speculation continuing in the markets like silver. So I expect the run to continue and be happy with that because it's a good thing. That said, I don't like mega cap tech. Yes, they had big days today, but I'd rather be looking at stuff like real estate, gold, silver even, some energy, certainly, and well-priced growth, not mega cap growth that is huge already and expensive. I want well-priced growth. So That's how I'm thinking about things. And until next time, peace out.